What's up, y'all? It's your boy CA Victor. Um, it's one of the first videos that I'm doing just to introduce myself to you, introduce the channel to people who may be seeing this for the first time. Not new to YouTube. I used to have a channel called the Fact Desk. You might still see some clips up there here and there. Had a lot of fun doing that, but we kind of stopped doing that about 6 or 7 years ago, right before COVID hit, or right around the time when COVID hit. During that time, I started doing a lot more writing. I went on a little bit of a physical and spiritual journey. Um, Actually, just a continuation because I feel like I've been on this journey my whole life, and all of that kind of came together, and I started putting stories and poems and different writing pieces that I had done over probably the last 15 years um, into a book, an anthology. It's called the Conscious Pugilist Anthology, Volume 1. I'm already working on Volume 2. Or I should say, have some concepts for Volume 2. The subtitle's called Tru Power Hides in Plain Sight. And then you see the author name, my name, C.A. Victor, underneath. Um, Now, even though, just to clarify something, even though I said it's writing that I've done for over the last 15 years, I would say maybe only one or two things is that old. Some concepts may have also started then, but most of it, I would say, was over the last few years. And you'll see that in the writing. Um, for those of you who don't know what a pugilist is, it is defined as a professional boxer or fighter. Okay. Consciousness is self explanatory. If you're alive, not brain dead or anything like that, you have some sort of consciousness. You open up your eyes, you have some sort of consciousness. So the conscious pugilist just means a conscious fighter. Okay. You're consciously fighting and consciously fighting for something. An anthology is basically when you have a series or a book that you label an anthology. It basically means every chapter or every story is its own story in itself, but there is a connecting thread throughout every chapter and throughout every story, or a basic theme in a way. So this is an anthology because every chapter, every story is different. The book is designed as a boxing analogy. That's why you have the glove up in there, up on the cover of the book, I should say. And instead of me calling it chapters, it's laid out as like a boxing match. So instead of calling the intro an intro, it's called the weigh-in. Okay, if you get the meaning there, intro, weigh-in. So you're weighing in on something. And then the first chapter is called round one, second chapter, round two, so on and so forth. And the last chapter is instead of an epilogue, we call that the decision. Okay. And a lot of it is double entendres. The decision is really based on my mother. And like I said, it's like a double entendre. So it's an epilogue, kind of brings everything together, but also it's decisions that she made on her life that really was the beginning of kind of putting this book together. So this light is messing up a little bit. Give me 1 second. I'm a little new to this, so maybe a couple of things that I'm still kind of getting used to. Sorry about that. So yeah, the sort of epilogue is called The Decision. It's based on my mother, and it's a double entendre because at the end of a fight, you already know you have the decision who wins the fight. And also, it kind of brings everything together in a way. And it's based on the decisions that she made in her life, which is how we get to this book. So it's a lot to digest. When I wrote it, I already knew a lot of people reading this. It's different. I don't like doing things the same way everybody else does it. So I came into this already knowing some people gonna read the book. It's gonna be a lot to digest. Um, I've been in the car business for a while. So I remember one time I sold a car to somebody and they said to me, I was having problems getting the deal done. And the person said to me, take your time with it. And it was like I wouldn't say an older one, but she was older than me at the time. Or she's older than me. And she said, don't worry about it, baby. Slow cooked meals better than the fast one. I don't do fast food. And I started laughing because it was so true. It was like, you don't really want no fast meals. You want um, a nice slow cooked one, get that all that seasoning in there, and it's right with a lot of flavor. So it took me some time to put the book together, and it may take some time for people to fully digest what it is. It's my first book, so I probably could have done it better. I will say that. But I'm very proud of what I did with it because you know, I I feel like I was able to show my creativity in a lot of different ways, and it truly represents me in my mind because my mind is all over the place. And I was able to put in New York is really the true character of the whole story because all the stories take place within the boroughs, pretty much Queens, Brooklyn, Manhattan, and Queens, Brooklyn, Manhattan, the Bronx. So it mainly takes. I didn't really go out to Staten Island too much. People within those boroughs don't really go out to Staten Island too much. So I think that was true to New York. But it's also as a timeline. Like we start in the future and we bring it all the way back to the past. So we kind of do a little bit of future, present, and then past. And in the beginning of every chapter, there's a timeline. But what I also think is different about this book is also that it has poetry or spoken word in it. So the way it's laid out is that in the beginning of every chapter, there's a poet, a written by myself, um, poem or a spoken word kind of writing piece as the intro to the chapter. In between that uh, poem and the actual story, there are quotes taken from people within the boxing world that kind of also ties into the story. So it's kind of layered that way. And I formatted it the best way that I could to kind of give that whole boxing analogy. And in case you're asking what the fight is about, I probably should have mentioned this earlier. The fight is between your ego and your awareness. Now, when I say awareness, and I kind of break this down in the weigh in/intro, when I say awareness, to me, your true awareness, right? Because, you have different levels. There's different levels of awareness, and I'm not going to try to get too deep, at least not in this video. But, I'm a very spiritual person. I've studied history, different religions. But my core self is just a very spiritual person connected to the universe. So metaphysics is also my thing as well. And there's in the levels of awareness, there's, what you're aware of based on your level of consciousness. And your
So
we
true
call that
awareness.
witness consciousness, the witness within. That's the person, that's the party, the you that's viewing everything in real time. So it's a battle of that version of you, well, that your true self, your witness consciousness, and the ego that in a lot of us kind of dictates how we do things. And this is not things that you don't know. I'm not telling you anything that you don't know, right? The first thing when we see two people have conflicts is ego. Oh, that's their ego. That's your ego talking. That's your ego talking. That's your ego talking. But I'm not sure if we really focus and concentrate on what's the alternative to that ego. We don't really talk about. We just always say that's the ego, that's the ego, that's the ego. Or we may say find yourself, find yourself, find yourself. But a lot of people really don't know how to do that. A lot of people have never really put a term or a phrase on that. And through my studies, I've found out that's really called the witness consciousness. It's the witness within the person that's viewing yourself. And I think it's important to get to know that person. So that's kind of what the book is about. It's not a deep dive in it, but it's stories based on, that's kind of the foundation of it all. So I hope you enjoy it. This channel on the book is, I should say this, the book is on Amazon and Barnes and Noble. So you could just look up The Conscious Pugilist and you can pick it up, paperback, hardcover, on Kindle. And this channel is going to be more like a vlog in a way, but I'm going to do an audio book video where I'm going to read the book myself. You know, just bear with me. It's the first time I've ever done this. Again, I don't like doing things the way every other people do things. Probably not good. It's always better to follow a blueprint of what works, but it's just not my way. I'm a true creative, and following what other people do, for the most part, there's a time and a place for that, especially when it comes to business. Don't get me wrong. But this is my creative space. This is me just being creative. And I think a true creative person like does things that represents them truly. And that's what I'm about. And I'm probably not going to get a lot of viewers because of that. Probably not going to sell a lot of books because of that. But I just hope to find my own little community, my own village. And I'm cool with that. And over time, hopefully, other people will kind of see what it is and kind of get what it is. And when I set out to do this, I said, listen, if there's a couple of people who said, I wrote your book or I listened to you and it really helped me, then it was worth it, because maybe that was my purpose, to spark the mind or the brain of one person who's going to continue that, whatever that spirit is that comes from a long line, a long legacy way before me. I'm just carrying the torch. I'm just passing it on to the next person and the next person. I'm keeping that spirit alive. That's all I'm doing in my own way. There's other people who are doing it in a much bigger way. I'm just doing it in my own way. And I hope you guys enjoy it, and give me any feedback that you may have. And as I continue to do this, I think you'll see things get better. I'm going to add things. I'm putting together a photo studio right now, another creative way of expression, where people can come and take pictures, and it hopefully will help them in whatever they choose to do in their profession. And I'm be doing a few other things that I'll showcase as they come along. But the main thing right now is to just have fun with it, and let me read these chapters to you, and hopefully it'll, paint the picture of what the book is about, in case you're just not a reader. And hope my voice is good, whatever it does. Maybe I hope you fall asleep. Maybe uh, you'll get a little piece of it, and it'll spark something. I don't know. Maybe I hope you write a book, because that's the other thing I want to do. Before I go, let me mention that one of the things I also want to do is maybe interview other writers, collab with other people, creatives, and talk to them about their journey as well. I love interviewing people. I love helping people, and it just does great for me. You know, at this stage in my life, I'm over 50 now, and I've always been that way through, you know, whether it be my family. Come from a family that likes helping people. In my life, I've always, you know, helped people, and you know, this is a way for me to, you know, we help each other, I guess, you know, and hopefully that turns into something good too. So if you're creative, if you you know, kind of like along the same timeline as me, let's grow together. Let's try to do some collabs. Let's work together, and let's build this community together. I'm all down for it, and you know, I'm here. You can also check me out on the Conscious Pugilist on IG. I'm building all of these things up. I'm starting from scratch. So IG, Twitter, the Conscious Pugilist. You can hit me up, and you know, let's get it going. Other than that, I hope everybody's start to 2026 has been blessed, healthy. You and your family. Wish you guys nothing but the best. And until the next video, I'll see you later. Peace.